Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel, and if you're listening in the podcast, thank you so much for being here. It is February 24th, 2024. Today is Saturday and I'm here to do a follow-up video on the Jennifer Dulos disappearance case regarding Michelle Troconis trial that is happening right now. And the reason why I wanted to do a follow-up video, because as you guys know, if you follow me before, um, I have been speaking about this since I learned that a mom from New Canaan was missing back in 2019. So I'm here to do this follow video because I also have been very active speaking about this case on my Twitter account, Julissadesigns. You can look me up there and join the conversation with everybody else that's there too. So right now, the the case went to opening statements are coming up next week, right? So there's a couple of things that I noticed about this, among many other things. And looking at the trial day after day and looking at all the evidence that was presented, we know that Jennifer Dulos was murdered, right? That's a fact. And I also know it's so hard to even, I came here a couple of weeks ago and told you guys how there's a whole art exhibit that was happening here in Connecticut in favor of Michelle Troconis. That to me was shocking, right? But specifically this week, looking at the trial this week, I you learn a lot about Michelle Troconis and the way that they're bringing experts and psychologists and expert witnesses for the defense, um, people that get paid $600 an hour and all of that, and people who have dealt with very famous cases in the past. You can only think the family of Michelle Troconis is very wealthy. And I am very concerned right now. I don't know why I was thinking this, but I think it was early this week. There was or late last week, something happened about her mother, Marisela, was accused, or somebody saw her trying to communicate with the jury and trying to do some type of hand signal. And because right now, closing statements, I guess that's what it's called, it's going to happen this coming week on Tuesday. I am very concerned about if she was able to kind of communicate somehow with the jury. I'm concerned about any type of. This is so weird. I don't know. I've been praying about this case, you guys. I don't want to accuse anybody that has done anything, but I've been praying about it, and I'm very concerned about any money being given to. I know it's illegal and all of that, but because let me go back to my. I'm very concerned that they might try to give some type of arrangement to the jury, because obviously this family is very wealthy. The Troconis family has money. It's very obvious the way they've been dealing with this case, and even like knowing from Michelle that she has an apartment in Miami. She also had an apartment waiting for her in Colorado, but she was ready to move over there, and she was also living here with Fotis. And she also said in the interrogation videos that she used her money and she had her own business and all of that. It looks to me as though this family is very wealthy, and the way they're bringing all these expert witnesses and the salary that these people get from even coming to a trial, or just by, there was a lot of emphasis on that. So to me, the conclusion that I draw from that is that these people have money, right? It doesn't take, it doesn't take too much to figure that one out. And because Marisela, Michelle Drocon's mom, was somehow trying to speak with these members of the jury, I'm very concerned that something is going to be done. Obviously, from looking at the trial, like I said, and all the evidence presented and things that have been happening during this trial, they are desperate, because there's no way somebody is going to sit in the trial accused of conspiracy to murder somebody, and she's going to get on her phone constantly on her phone into like last week when something was said about it and she was no longer allowed to bring her computer. um it's almost kind of like nonchalant. I know she's playing this character. Michelle Troconis is playing a character, the I don't speak English character. Even though Fotis was Greek and they had a relationship and he didn't speak Spanish. But now she wants to tell the world that she needs a translator. By the way, Michelle Troconis was born in Tennessee, and I understand sometimes people are born here and then the family moves overseas or whatever, right? But her mother, at her age, she speaks very good English, and her dad is a doctor. They all speak English fluently. For her to sit and be like, oh, I need a translator throughout this whole process, and even seeing her saying that she's not going to testify yesterday, having a translator with her, is so sarcastic. I don't know how to describe it. Like, we watch hours and hours of your interrogation video in English, and when you're about to speak with the judge, you're gonna ask for a translator because you need. It's almost like she needs to keep playing this character that she's playing, and it's so bizarre to me, the whole thing. Also, the whole art gallery thing is crazy to me. These people couldn't even wait. Like, have some respect for the victim. Wait until this whole trial is over. At the end of the day, when everything's put on top of the table and everything's being presented, this is all happening because Jennifer Doulos died, and she's being accused of conspiracy to that. And you have an art gallery celebrating her. The lack of moral of Michelle Troconis and her family is crazy. For her to, even in the interrogation video, she actually corrected one of the detectives and say, "My name is Michelle." It's almost like because she got together with a married man, there was some type of competition there. Oh, I must be better than Jennifer because he's actually living with me. And Jennifer is dead, and she's gonna carry this whole competition in her mind. That's why she's so willing to not even say anything about Jennifer. Like, you're not even like have some sympathy. You're all about, trying to get people to come to you, to the court, like this is some type of competition, like whoever is the most popular is gonna win. And it's not about that. And that's what's crazy to me. For her to be so disrespecting because she plays along with this character that she doesn't understand English and she needs a translator. Like, for her, even yesterday, there was there are always reporters out there. When they finish the court, the whole family comes out with her, and when the family always speaks, right? And when they're done speaking, they ask Michelle, "You want to speak?" And she says, "No, gracias," in Spanish. Like, are you kidding me? Who are you? What is your character that you're playing? You're not fooling anybody. We know you understand the language. We see you talking to the police for hours and hours. And now it's almost like they remember, hey, by the way, speak more Spanish so that they remember that you need a translator. It's so crazy to me, the whole thing. Also, her friend that testified yesterday, I believe, is so weird. There are things that I'm like, man, you know, in the beginning, I used to go back and forth. I'd be like, no, she has nothing to do with that. There's no way. And then, like I said before in previous videos, everything changed for me. My belief about her involvement or somehow knowing something when the Starbucks surveillance video came out, because I'm like, the body language is giving them away. Okay, and something regarding that, because if you've been following the case, you know that the Starbucks surveillance video happened. The visit to Starbucks, excuse me, happened after they were dumping bags of Jennifer Dulos' bloody clothing along Albany Avenue in Hartford. And then after that was done, like 3 stops, right? Not 30 like they say before. 3 stops. After that was done, they walk into a Starbucks and they saw the body language gave them away 100%. So regarding that, her friend that testified yesterday, she said she has a decorating business in Simsbury, and Michelle was one of the rug suppliers for her. The morning of May 24th, 2019, she reached out to Michelle because she went to her store. Her friend said that they met around 11 a.m. on Friday, May 24th, 2019, and it was her business partner, and Michelle. They met for 45 minutes regarding the payment, and she was asking her about, you want cash or you want check, whatever. And then she said, you know, the friend said, the friend said, I rushed the meeting a little bit because I was traveling to London the same day. So we said our goodbye. I gave her the payment. I said our goodbye. She said take a lot of photos, and then that's it. Here's the thing about that whole ordeal. According to Michelle, her friend was talking to her when Fotis was dropping the trash bags, right? But here's the thing. Her friend said that they were testing, not on the phone. Michelle said that she was on the phone talking to her friend. But what I find weird about how the whole interaction is that her friend said around 7 p.m. She texted Michelle saying that she was in an Uber going to Boston, I believe, to the airport, and then she said, "Can you believe this guy is trying to do change some oil in the car or something? He could have done that before, whatever it was about the car." But she said then she kept talking to Michelle about getting to costumes and getting through the airport, and then she said the conversation ended like, "I'm on the gate right now." What I find weird about the whole interaction is that on May 24, 2019, you said, okay, that you said your goodbyes to Michelle, and she said to you, take a lot of photos from London, this and the other. And then you kind of like, you rush the whole meeting in the morning because you need to go, right? You're planning a trip and you're flying out the same night. But then you reach out to her again saying you're already going through customs and like, who does that? According to your own testimony, you're dismissing her, saying, I just wanted to pay her because I was leaving, then I was rushing the meeting so that I can go on with my meeting. Unless you were transporting something to London that you have to speak with Michelle and say, oh, yeah, I got through custom now, I'm at the gate, everything's good to go. What are you communicating about? You spoke about the rocks for 45 minutes. You gave her the payment. She said, have a good trip, take a lot of photos, and then you're going to talk to her later that day. Like, usually, I don't travel a lot, but when I travel, I don't want to get on the phone with people. I want to make sure I'm navigating the airport, right? I'm going to the right place, if whatever, if I have to use the bathroom before anything. I'm not going to get on the phone and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going through custom now, this and that. And how convenient is that happened, according to them, with their right on Albany Avenue, and Fotis is dumping the trash bags. It's so weird to me, the whole interaction with them. And also, her friend said that she had some evidence that would help Michelle Troconis' case, but she didn't want to talk to the police because she didn't trust the police. Okay, but she's your dear friend. That's why the prosecution was added with her, because it's like you had a great information to say to help your friend, and you don't want to talk to the police because you don't trust them. I think it's I think the whole thing is just weird. And when something is off, it's a reason for that. When you feel like somebody's like, something is a little weird about this. Like, if you have a business transaction with somebody and you're like, I want to get this done early in the morning because I'm going on a trip. I just want to get her payment, talk about the rocks that I'm gonna order, whatever the conversation was. The last thing I'm gonna do 5 hours after, because they met at 11, she said for around 45 minutes. The last thing I'm gonna do, reach out to the same client friend again and talk to her going through customs, going to the airport gate for what? You know, like what's happening there? And how convenient that phone call happened right when Michelle was driving in the car with Fotis, dumping trash bag on Albany Avenue, saying, I don't know what he was doing. I had no idea what he was doing. She knew everything about Fotis. She knew everything that he did. She knew everything about Jennifer Dulos' case with the kids and photos and the divorce and all of that. She knew everything except for that. This man that you were so upset 2 days ago that he spent the visitation at Jennifer's house instead of going to Grace Farms is driving around different trash can in a place that she said herself they usually don't go there, they never been there, in a shady place because they don't there it's not familiar to them. And she's not gonna question, hey, what are you doing here? And she said she did, saying he just kept saying, oh, be quiet, like this and the other. But you see her there when she opened the door to the car and he's dumping an envelope. That's not construction things that they use trash cans for. Like, it's just weird. You're gonna see this man that you gave, you made this man move you into his family home and make his wife have to move out with their 5 children. Even if they say 50 times the divorce was friendly, perhaps Fotis lied to her, but you're gonna see the wife move out of their home, and you're gonna be like, well, she moved out, so I just, like, it's just so weird for us to think that she had no idea what he was doing. The body language at the Starbucks said everything to me. Like, after that, I didn't need to say nothing else. The way she's acting, you know, using the computer, tweeting about the case, like, it's almost like you want to say, hey, take it seriously. You don't need a fan club to show up with you every time, because it's not a competition about who was better, you or Jennifer Dulles. It's not about that. But because she got involved with a married man, she will always see it as a competition. And that is so sad that she doesn't even have the respect and morality to be like, hey, you know, like, let's not do all this stuff. She doesn't care. There's a lot of carelessness that comes from her. Even though she wants to play this character that, she doesn't do anything, she works with horses, she's like a therapist and all of that. Looking at the behavior, even I don't even need to hear the audio, the Starbucks. It was just weird. And having the chimney going during a hot summer day, um, like, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, if it doesn't make sense, it's because it doesn't make sense for a reason. So let me know what you guys think. I thought that there's so much to speak about this case. So much. I think the defense put on the worst defense I ever seen, and the state did such a great job. The lawyers from the state, I believe it's Manning and McGinnis, two lawyers they did such an excellent job interrogating the defense witnesses that it's just crazy. Michelle is in a competition with Jennifer Dulos, and you can see it because they were trying hard. The defense tried hard, but when you see the friends in common that Fotis had with Jennifer and then with Michelle, I think it was a couple that testify, and the wife gets emotional talking about the case. How the night before they're celebrating how it was going to be a good outcome, and then everything changed that Friday. She got emotional, and then her husband testified saying that Jennifer Dulles will never leave the kids. This whole thing is that Michelle Troconis forgot that good character, right? You can never make people lie about how good a person is, especially if that person is already gone and has such a horrific death like that. She thought that because they were friendly with her, they went to the dinner party, and they were, they were good with her, they're gonna forget who Jennifer Dulos was. It doesn't work like that. So let me know what you guys think so far. It's gonna be an interesting week. I think, to be honest, I feel like the jury is gonna come back really quick. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming back to my channel, listening the podcast. Have a good day. God bless.